Hello friends, welcome back. It's time for another episode of BigDenoPlays, and we're starting a brand new campaign. It's called Eclipse from Awaken Realms. Pretty excited for this one, have to say. Awaken Realms, what an interesting story with Awaken Realms. I really love how they took their success and turned it into a booming Kickstarter competitor in GameFound, which is probably my preferred platform now. But I'll be honest, I've only really enjoyed playing Nemesis from Awaken Realms. Nemesis is the only one that I've kept. I did play through the full entirety of Tainted Grail, the first one, and I enjoyed it, but that required for me some home rules. And it was a great game, but yeah, I felt like it was a great story, but that was about the extent of it. Now, Awaken Realms has done quite a few games since then, and I haven't ever really felt compelled to jump on them. ISS Vanguard sort of looked like it was okay, and generally the feedback has been quite similar, in that the games felt like they were just a little bit short of a gallop. Basically, the games were good, but there was just elements that made them feel unfinished. So this one came around, and at the time I thought to myself, it just feels the same. And that's possibly still the case. But what I really like about this one, and what's driven me to go and pick up a copy, it is very much moving down a niche that I really like from a board game, which is, it's a campaign game, but it doesn't feel like it overstays its welcome, and it's got some alternative game modes, and it's also about Pokemon. And so for me, that's just an immediate win. I do regret not supporting it more at the time, and based on my experience with this, I may go back into one of their other ones that they did recently, which is completely forgotten the name of it now. Lands of Evershade, that's it. And I may get into Lands of Evershade because it sort of looked pretty good as well. But this one's called Dragon Eclipse. Now we're going to try something a bit different in that we're going to use the app, and we're going to have the app play some audio. So we'll do that for the first playthrough, and we'll see how we feel about it. And yeah, I might read, or I might just listen to the app. So let's crack on. Let's bring the app up right now. Boom. Here we are. So we're in the lovely town of Keaberg, and this is the first scenario, and this is where we're going to start. I will move over to the map sort of a little bit later on, but you can see this for now. So let's start playing some audio and see how this goes.
Keaberg. You've always loved this city. Perched atop a barren hill from which you can admire a scenic vista of old forest, winding merchant roads, and low rocky hills. Your gaze finds the wind turbines connected to the water pumps and forges. Their noise grates, but they fill you with pride anyway. You are one of the few people responsible for ensuring all this works properly. Unlike a clever duchess who rules over people and laws, and engineers who supervise the steel and brass, tamers like you train and care for the Mystlings that support the whole structure. But sometimes you feel suffocated in the city. You often wander through the surrounding forests, but that doesn't satisfy your thirst for something more. Sometimes you want to take your Mystling and see the world, but you can't. You are the head tamer of Keaberg. The people need you. You check on the Windraiser, a timid Mystling possessing tremendous power who controls the airflow through windmills and turbines. It utters a pleasant sound when it sees you. Tomorrow you will train it along with several other creatures, but today you both have work to do. For some time you show the Windraiser how to use its powers more efficiently, and give the Mystling a little treat. Soon the turbines spin a little faster as the wind flowing through the city accelerates.
Cool, good start. Let's go on. So we go to script A1.
After you ensure the Windraiser's well-being, your long workday is finished. Today has been somewhat stressful, as you and other Keeburg tamers have been checking on all the Mystlings in the city. The work is done now, however, and you can relax. You head for the shaded tavern, where you can enjoy the best stew in the area. Besides, today a storyteller is performing. While you walk, a prowler, a cat-like mistling, whooshes by, its feathers spread and windblown. When you enter the tavern, you are enveloped by the wonderful smell of herbs. Storyteller, Ida, is finishing a tale of true love. I have 2 more tales for you, my dear folks. I can elevate you to the sky realm of the dragon guardians, the mighty beasts of old who watch over our world, or I can enshroud you in the darkness of the Eclipse, the dreadful event that left our civilization in ruin.
Ooh, so we have a choice. We can choose to hear about the Dragon Guardians or to hear more about the Eclipse. I would like to hear about dragons. Thanks very much. Let's select dragons.
Ida begins the story. Everyone always wants to hear about dragons, the watchful, mighty beings which soar through the skies, breathe pure elements, and instill fear and awe into our hearts. They are said to be the guardians of our world, each of them attuned to only one of the elements. Some people claim they've seen them, and might even be telling the truth. But who am I to say if it is so? I am here to tell you a story. The dragons, you know, are connected to the Eclipse.
So in the game, much like Tainted Grail, you have a little sheet that you mark off statuses on. It was always something that was quite cool in Tainted Grail, but it also kind of missed the mark a little bit sometimes because you didn't always know exactly what those things referred to. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we'll take that status. Thank you. We go to script A8.
A sudden tremor interrupts the story. Ida freezes with her mouth agape, visibly confused. You're also quite shocked. You've never experienced such a strong quake. Suddenly the door bursts open, and a young tamer enters the tavern. "Our Mystlings," he says, catching his breath. "They all went mad. They lash out at the machines and all the people around. The main turbine is in danger. The Windraiser has grown aggressive." The tamer is still a rookie, but he understands what he's talking about, and the problem seems serious. If something happens to the creature or the machine, many of Keeburg's functions could be disabled for months. The young tamer spots you. "Oh, Chief, what a blessing you're here. Come, you must help me. I tried to calm the Windraiser, but, well, it's a task for you." If the creature is attacking people who try to approach it, you won't be able to do anything without a Mystling to aid you. Fortunately, your companion rests inside your room on the 2nd floor. Despite living in Keeburg for years, you still don't have your own house. You run up the stairs to bring it, chased by the young man's baffled shouts. You open the door to your room, and...
And what? Well, let's move to this screen. We're going to do some cool stuff. But yeah, let's bring that screen back up. We'll continue because we have to choose our companion Mystling. So we have these options. We also have the option to have the young Luminesca, but I don't think I've included that in this, which is a shame. But that's okay. So let's just assume we chose the young Iceling. And this is what happens. He crawls from the bed, leaving a wet stain behind. We go to script A7, and it tells us what to do to set up our Mystling. It's a great app, by the way. I'm pretty impressed by this app, I have to tell you. So we've done this. We've taken those Iceling cards and we've placed them in the Mystling tray. We don't have to read them now, that's fine. We take a starting deck, and that's this deck here, and we shuffle that along with our Luminesca card. So we're playing a Luminesca, by the way, which I'll explain in a second. And then we also add these to the Mystling Encyclopedia. This is the Mystling Encyclopedia. It's your Pokedex, right? So at the moment, we literally just have one Mystling, which is right at the end because it's the Luminesca. But, oh, there it is. Look at that. The young Luminesca. Get that up here. Let's zoom in, Deno. Zoom in. Look at that. The social and kind Mystlings often help those straying into darkness. That's cool. It's a Pokedex. Oh, this game, man, it's going to do my head in. I'll fix this up. This is a bit low. There we go. That's my melon. Okay, so we'll continue. We place the enemy ability card behind the removed. We never fight our little friend. And then we place the other one, which is the young Embling and young Iceling. These go into our tier deck, which means we might fight them in a random combat. So we'll come back to them at some point. So we're only playing one player, so we will continue with this next script.
You and your companion follow the trembling tamer out of the bar. He leads you towards the same windraiser you tended to not even an hour ago. You can immediately tell that the creature is terrified enough to treat everyone as a threat, and it attacks approaching humans and even moving machine parts. To calm the windraiser down, you must get close to it and wear it down. You order the elemental lizard to carefully step forward with a tactic in mind. If only the situation were a little different, you would rejoice, as you don't often have the opportunity to test your skills in combat. But today, you must fight your friend.
Yeah, so I'll just press some buttons and you can tell me what this. We're about to begin our first combat. We're going to open up the Start Here combat book and do that, but we've already done that. So Arena card 35, which is this one here. I need that too. And that tells us that if we win, we go to script A26. If we lose, we go to script A30. Hello there, Kragzog. Great. So that's it. We also have a single power, which I will show you here, that I have started with. And that's it. We start the combat. Sure. Let's show off. So this is our clash mat. This is our enemy. It's called a Frightened Windraiser. So this is a Pokemon game. This is an air type Pokemon, and this is a light Pokemon. So that's exciting. This is our little Pokemon. It's called a Luminesca, and we can have a look at the Luminesca's stats over here. 17 health, 3 attack, movement 2. We have a special bonus action as the Luminesca, and we have an elemental bonus action as a light type Pokemon, as well as a couple of basic bonus actions that we can do. Some basic bonus actions. And then our enemy is the Frightened Windraiser, who only has 11 health, 3 attack though, and 3 movement. And what's going to happen each turn is we're going to draw one of these cards, and that's going to tell us what the creature does. So you are allowed to have this visible, but one of the difficulty modifiers is you can flip that over so it's face down, so you don't know what the creature is going to do. We may do that depending on how I go. Here's some of the other Pokemons you can be, by the way. You can be this guy. He's an Embling. This guy, he's an Iceling. So this is your fire and water types. And then this guy, I think we fight this guy pretty early on. He's called a Golomo. He's a little earth type Mystling. So that's fun. Okay, so the combat is pretty straightforward. We have a turn, and then the enemy has a turn, and then we have a turn, and the enemy has a turn. And on our turn, I've shuffled this already, so I'm now going to deal these out. Ooh. we choose one of these cards that we have in our row to activate. And that's it. This is a really very good start, really. So let me zoom in on our little cards here. So these cards are basically our entire action sequence. You choose a card, you gain the power that is above the card, which is these little Bobby Dazzlers, and you then activate the card and do the things on the card. Straightforward. And so the card will dictate to us, move around, etc. During your turn, before the card, as well as after the card, you have the option to spend power to do bonus actions. And those bonus actions can be 1 power to dash, which is move, 1 power to prepare, which is to discard a card from here if you're not happy, as well as our unique specific light element action, which is called fading light, sorry, our Luminesca action. And we're going to focus on trying to do that. So we go first, and we are going to choose a card, and the card we're going to choose is called Brilliance, which is this one. And let's see if this works. Oh, Brilliance. So we gain 1 brightness. We have a maximum brightness that we can have of 5, but we're just going to gain 1 there. And because we activated the card in this slot, we also gain 3 power. The 3 power actually comes first. We can spend 2 power to gain an additional brightness, and we will in fact do that. So we now have 2 brightness, and then we are going to deal 2 damage in range 2. And that is the extent of that card. So we are in range 2, so we're going to deal 2 damage to the Windraiser. It has no defense against that. Now we could spend this power to do a move or to discard, but we're actually going to stay right where we are. So we slide these across. Ooh, offensive stance and guardian stance. Great. Cool. So now that's the end of our turn. It's the enemy's turn. So we move this card across, and we can now activate the card that's in the first slot. So this one, if we zoom in, tells us that the creature will attack at +2 attack. So it would do an attack 5. However, you can only attack adjacent, and this Frightened Windraiser is not adjacent to us, so its attack does nothing. We flip this card to say that that action's done, and that's it. So it'll do other things, it'll move, it'll do things, and it interacts with these little elements, which are whirlwinds or tempests or tornadoes. And every creature will use these little tokens differently. And one thing that's really cool, if it's a positive token, like if it's yours, it's white. If it's an enemy token, it's black. Love that. Makes complete sense. Okay. We'll now choose this one, which is the Light Vortex. And that says gain 1 brightness. We also gain 2 power. And we will immediately spend that 2 power to gain another brightness, and then we attack at range 2. Guess what? We are at range 2, and so we're going to attack. And our basic attack is 3, and the Frightened Windraiser's 3, 1, 2, 3. It's got 0 armor, so that's 6 damage, and that is it. Now, we have the option to move, but what we know is that the Frightened Windraiser, if we have a look at its stats, it is going to deal 3 damage to each opponent within range 1 of a tornado. So we probably do want to move at this point. Deal 3 to each opponent within range 1 of a tornado. And then it's going to retreat. The retreat part's the part that I don't enjoy because it's running away from us. What to do, what to do? You know, that's okay. So we'll spend a power to move, and we'll move 1, 2 to here. And that's it. That is all we can do. I may have been better off doing the attack at this point. So we'll slide this across. This comes out. Ooh, sprint. And we now do the Windraisers card. So it slides, boom, boom, and it activates this triangle, which is anyone within range 1 of a tornado. We are not. But then the Windraiser is going to retreat. 1, 2, 3. It's got 6 health remaining. That's its turn over. Back to our turn. We've only got 1 power. It's going to do the same thing. So I think we can do 4 damage because of our special ability bonus action, which is called Fading Light. We deal 1 damage in any range for each brightness token you have, and then we discard a brightness token. Can we do that? Yes. However, that leaves it alive with 2 health, and then it's going to activate its special ability. So that's okay. I think what we will do though, let's use Guardian Stance, and this is a pretty cool one. We gain 3 power, and we will actually do our ability, which is that one there. And we're not going to spend anything else. So that does 4 damage based on the brightness that we have. And so we are going to do 4 damage to take it down to 2. And we then discard a brightness. We have no power remaining, so we can't do any other bonus actions. And so that is it. That one's going to be great. So this slides down to here. This one will activate, which again is deal 1 damage to anyone within range 1 of a tornado. It's going to retreat. And then, because there is a card above this slot, we will do the enemy's special ability, which is blink to a space with a tornado that is farthest from an opponent. So that's what triggers when it hits to 3. So it's going to blink to here, which is A-OK. So this is now discarded, goes into the discard pile. Cool. Gain brightness. Move, move. Interesting. So as soon as this deck runs out, which will be literally the next turn, we are going to take one of these cards, which is a fatigue card, which goes into our deck for any future combats. Not ideal, but that's okay. Just trying to think if there's any way I can kill it this turn. Oh, not kill it. It's a friend of ours. We want to protect it. The number of brilliance deal 2 damage in range 2. So I could have stayed here, but then I wouldn't have been able to take 2 damage each turn. I can't get 4 power. That's the issue. I need 4 power to do my action. So I can't do that. So we'll just take Desperate Attack. We're unable to do anything with that. We gain 3 power. Oh. Now we could spend that power to discard cards. I'm not going to because we're going to kill it next turn. So the Windraiser is going to have its turn now. It's going to rush using this square. 1, 2, 3. It's not in range, so it can't attack us. It flips, but we unfortunately take a fatigue card because it has no cards left in its deck. So that's that. And that's it. It's now our turn. We can do anything. We don't carry power over, but you do carry damage over. So we'll just play this offensive stance for 3. We'll then spend our 4 power to do our Fading Light again, and we defeat the Windraiser. So let's bring this back up, and we will go to A26, which is the script that we go to when you successfully defeat the Windraiser. All right, now let's see how this sounds.
The winged Mystling stops fighting, and you approach it to place your hand on its semi-corporeal arm. It looks into your eyes and lets out a poignant wail. It suddenly cowers in shame and rushes behind the turbine, wedging its flexible body into a dark crevice. It seems the crisis is averted, for now. You sink to the ground with your companion, both panting heavily. The Windraiser was fast, and the struggle took a toll on you. You should be enjoying an evening meal now, not fighting your protégés.
That's pretty cool. We just added our Mistborn Windraiser into our Pokedex. And we get to heal, but we didn't suffer any damage, so that's fine. Do we want to calm the Windraiser's nerves, or do we want to focus on the situation at hand? I would like to focus on the situation at hand, thank you. We go to script A2.
You finally have time to look around. People are still scared, but there are only a few visible consequences of the tremor. A crumbling wall, a machine grinding unpleasantly, and flower pots toppled from windowsills. All the Mystlings gradually calm down. Still concerned, you approach 2 rangers helping an older man to his feet. Their job is to protect Cairburg from dangerous creatures, and you have often joined forces with them. They greet you with respect for your position as the chief tamer, and together you decide what to do next. They will make a quick reconnaissance around the city to check if Mystlings caused the quake. Your job will be to ensure everyone in this quarter is safe and the technology isn't in danger. You will meet at the Shaded Tavern in an hour.
Okay, we clear the arena. We discard all components. Hello, Sebastian. We place our action deck in our Mistling tray. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave that here, I think. Do not discard your damage. Place the enemy cards behind the corresponding divider. Close the arena book. Cool. We gain a silver. Cool. Where's my silver? There it is. Whee. Open map 1. Look at that. Cool. Prepare all tokens. Place Secret 13 in the event slot. That's Secret 13. Set the time tracker to 3. See what's happening in the city before the Rangers return. Okay, so that's Secret 13, so it stays down here. So, in this situation, we can explore things. And we do that using the item deck, and we choose locations. So, begin exploration. So if we want to go to one of these little locations, such as A24 or A35, we just type in that number and we do that exploration. So it's quite free form at this point. I think this is the inn. So we're meeting there at the end. I don't want to meet there yet. I don't know what that is. Is that a shop? There's also hidden numbers on these maps sometimes, which is great. That's where we leave, I guess, the wall. So let's go and have a look at this windmill that's broken. So we'll do A24.
The Windraiser peeks from his hiding place, visibly calmer now. It scans the surroundings uneasily and glances at the turbines to ensure the wind flows through them. A group of engineers repair some damage to the machines, but everything seems fine, thanks to your previous intervention. You don't even want to imagine what would have happened if all the gears had stopped.
What do we do? Do we let our Mystlings spend some time with the Windraiser? Do we chat with the tamer, or do we leave? Let's let our little Mystlings have a play together. Be friends. Oh, we don't have the empathy part 1 status, no, but we gain 2 power. 1 time despairs. Okay, so let's go to A35, which is this one here.
The air is always cooler inside the thick walls of the library. The librarian, Slade, greets you with a bored smile and returns to sorting the books scattered on the ground. Inside the reading room, a young man, Alvin, sits silently in a corner, shaking a little. He's one of your charges, a tamer in training. He looks up from time to time, avoiding eye contact.
I'd like to read about Earth Mystlings, thank you very much. We have a choice. Let's approach Alvin first. He seems scared and we're nice people.
As you approach the lad, you notice bruises on his hands and the side of his face. He shakes his head before you can open your mouth and says, "Don't say anything, please. I was training with Gyadon this morning, trying some more complicated techniques. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't have. It didn't end well, just like you said before, Tamer. I will listen to you from now on, I promise. Gyadon is fine, should you want to know. Leave me alone. I'm ashamed, all right?" You've heard such a promise from him many times before. You are sure he will do something stupid again, but it's good to know he didn't hurt himself much. "The thing is, I wanted to see if I could defend myself against a furwing if I ever have to," he adds. "I read about it, and I think I know everything now. It looks powerful, but rather slow despite being able to fly. But I know one thing for sure." His face beams, and he continues in a whisper. "Every furwing loses its ability to fly once its fur gets wet, becomes too heavy to take off. So I wanted to prepare to face it with my Gyadon, but you see, it didn't turn out right."
Cool. So we have this little status sheet. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to mark Forest Predators status 2 because we know a little bit more about fur wings. Go to script A35.
The air is always cooler inside the thick walls of the library. The librarian, Slade.
We've already heard that. All right, let's read about Earth Mystlings. I was excited about that. Let's do that.
The book details the customs of Earth Mystlings in the vicinity of Keaberg. You skim and find a place reminding the reader that heavy golemos do not favour rocky and beaten paths, as they can make unpleasant tremors there. Another piece describes a ferocious elk thorn chased away with smoke from a torch held high.
I was pulling out the cards just to have a look at creatures for painting purposes. There's an elk thorn. How sick does he look? Because I'm going to paint him soon. Oh, we gained Forest Predators Part 1 status. Okay. Yeah, it's Pokemon. It's unreal. So we've done here, we've been to the library, we haven't talked to Slade. Let's go to A29, that looks like a shop, I reckon. No, A3, A3. Token A is in slot 1. It is not. It is not.
You cringe at the cogs scraping and trembling as they spin. What's worse, you can't see the engineer on duty. And what if the other places need their help? Assumptions aside, the pumps need maintenance. You've learned something about the technology, and you think you can give it a go, or at least turn it off so it won't seize up.
Okay, we're going to try and fix this machine because we get to do a test, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so this is a test. So in a test, we use this item deck and we flip the item deck to attempt to get to a target number. So 5 or less is one of the numbers that we could get. 6 is also one. 7 is our target because we gain a silver and we get to go to script A25 without losing time. 8 is not good. 8 is where we break the machine. So 6 and 7 is what we want to achieve. So it's a push your luck. We flip 1. So we've got a 2. For each pair of those little eyeballs, we gain a damage. So there's one little eyeball. So we're going to go again. So we've started with a 2 and a 3 is a 5. So we need to go again, but that's not ideal because if we get 8 or more, we break it. Let's go. 4? No! So we've broken the machine. Place a B token in slot 1. Continue the exploration. Yep. It's not good. Oh. Whoops. Whoops. All right. That was not really what I was hoping for there. I was hoping we could fix the machine, but no, we've cooked it. We've cooked it completely. Let's go to A12. Let's go to the library.
The tavern greets you with the cool, fragrant breeze wafting through it. The innkeeper placed some fans on the ceiling and cleverly connected them to the stoves in the kitchen. You approach the bar, feeling the patron's gaze on your back, but their whispers stroke your ego. They know that the Windraiser and machines are safe, thanks to you. Olin, the local alchemist, sits at a table, his face hidden in his hands. If you remember correctly, his workshop is somewhere nearby. Ida, on the other hand, is nowhere to be found.
Let's approach Olin. We don't have Secret 2, so Olin doesn't want to speak with us. All right. Let's go to A29.
You smile affectionately as you see the signboard depicting a pouch filled with coins and hazelnuts. You enter the shop, and the storekeeper, Hazel, looks at you from under her permanently furrowed brows and says in a surprisingly warm tone, "Welcome, Tamer. Do you need something, love?" Her tone sounds odd, and you notice she keeps glancing at a fresh crack in the wall. Her hands...
Do we want to buy supplies? We can spend a silver. We do have a silver to spend. Let's buy supplies and then we'll speak with her. Draw 3 items and then continue the exploration. So we draw 3 of these, 1, 2, 3, and we get to choose one to keep. Should have gone to this before we drew that thing. See, look at that. You can do a test. You can add or subtract 2. That would have been perfect. Bait. Yeah, let's take this rope so we can add or subtract from a test. So that's an item that we have, and we can have, I think, 3 or 4 items. I'm not really sure. Now let's go talk to Hazel.
Actually, I could use your help. No, don't look so scared. It's got nothing to do with that scary tremor. But if you visit the library, please retrieve my medallion from Slade, the librarian. He tricked me into selling the medallion to him for naught. He's studying it with all his books as if it were something precious, which is not my concern. Losing that medallion doesn't sit well with me. I want it back, and that's it. Hazel speaks much faster in the end, her face growing red. But should you help her right now? There are more important things to do.
Suspicious! Place token A in slot 3. Continue the exploration. Let's go to the library and let's get that medallion back from Slade. I'm not going to break that workshop, cool Red Mage. That's ridiculous.
The air is always cooler inside the thick...
Still got to figure out the buttons.
The air is always cooler inside... Hazel, that sly hag. Of course she sent you. The only person I am fond of. I won't fall for it this time. The medallion is fascinating. I cannot simply give it back to her because she didn't realize its true value.
I'm going to try and convince him. It costs us a time. It's a test! I didn't get 2 eyeballs, did I? Oh, I wonder when you shuffle, do you have to, let me get the rule book. When you complete a test, do you reshuffle the thing? Let me check. Tests. Test your might. Perform a test. Start the test. No, you keep a discard pile. Interesting. Yep, cool. So we keep that. So let's do our test. Test your might. Okay, so we want to get 6 or 7 again. All right, let's try it. But I've got our rope this time. We can rope this idiot. It's a 1 with an eyeball. No. All right, well, we're going again. 3 is 4. Come on, Dano. 1 more. Oh, 6! We're not good at tests. We are not good at tests. That's 10. Even if we reduce it to 8, we are getting absolutely nothing. This is a tragic turn of events. Slade's not giving us the medallion, and the time tracker turns down. It turns out we're bad at tests. All right. So this time tracker goes to here. It stays on this, and when you would, I think when you flip this down, I'm going to check this again. This is the first time I've done the adventure phase. So, time tracker, when the time is already in the last space, place in the event card. When the time token is on the event card, you flip it. Cool. Okay, that's very good. He's not giving us the medallion. We've had a really good time here, haven't we? Let's go back and tell her that he's not giving you the medallion back. Nope, we're in trouble. Where else can we go? Have I been to A12 yet? The inn. Let's go there. The tavern. Let's chat with the patrons.
You sit beside a glassblower and his apprentice, but more people join you, all interested in your story. You tell everybody about the encounter with the Windraiser and your current findings about the city's future. They listen to you, enchanted, and give you a small gift in return for your help. A woman mentions seeing an alchemical study with a collapsed wall. She hasn't seen anyone inside, but it might be worth checking to see if anyone is trapped.
Gain 1 item. We can immediately trash that for a silver. Cool. So she just said some scripts on the map may be hidden. Where's my silver? Does that mean... Oh, I already got it there. Does that mean there's a hidden number on this map? There is, look! A13. Yes! I'm going to A13.
You walk by the collapsed wall of the alchemical study. Poor Olin. You hope he has enough savings to rebuild it. You briefly look inside and wince at the broken vials and pools of multicolored substances on the floor. It doesn't seem safe. Before the building completely collapses, you should check for anything worth saving.
Let's do this test. So we're going to... Yeah, so if we have 2 eyeballs, we have to flip the time tracker. A red berries, that's 1. And 3 is 4. 4 is nothing. Let's go again. We've finally got a 6. Do we want to try and roll a 1? No, we don't. We just gained secret 2. A healing extract. Do it. Do it. No. Very good. Go to script A79.
Walking away from the ruined building, you almost trip over a wounded prowler. You bend over the Mystling and realize that the creature is wounded. It closes and opens its eyes with noticeable pain. You have the healing potion at hand. It's not yours to use, but it would allow you to help the creature immediately. You could lift the prowler and carry it to the healer, but time is short to help.
All right, do we want to heal the prowler with this healing potion, or do we want to give it back to Olin? I think we've done such a bad job at everything else. Let's heal the prowler. That's it. I never got around to Sleeping Gods. had a copy and then didn't do anything with it. All right, let's go to A10.
The gate is open. A road snakes down the slope to disappear into the dense forests below and reappear among the fields and natural glades. As you look farther, you see hills, a broad river, and several picturesque lakes. You cannot stop yourself from imagining Mystlings in each location.
We don't have an A token in slot 5, so let's stay in Careburg. I feel like I may have missed a time track. I think maybe I was supposed to have flipped a time, so let's flip a time. If token A is in slot 2 or 5, it's not. No. Otherwise go to script A75. I heard that about Sleeping Gods actually, that that the expansion or the Distant Skies version is significantly better. So I might have to try that.
The rangers should be back in the city. You agreed to meet them in the shaded tavern.
Place Secret 13 face down in the event slot. Set time to 3. There are many places you should visit, such as the library. I've done that. Place token A in slot 2. Let's go there. Let's go straight to the tavern, A12.
Finally, you're here. We've seen a rather large flock of golemos wandering around the city, about a dozen of them or so. Since they can cause small tremors, maybe such a large group could cause a big one. We kept a safe distance and left the investigation to you, Tamer. You're the Mystlings expert. Start looking in the glade with the tall birch. You think about it briefly. Golemos are relatively peaceful creatures. They can fight, but mainly in self-defense. You must investigate this, however. When you finish your errands in the city, you should head toward the city gate. If you want to learn more about them, the ranger says, check the library, if it's still open, that is.
Place token A in slot V. Continue the exploration. Let's go to A10. Let's get out of here. Set off in search of the tremors. Requires token A in slot V. Let's do it. Go to script A14.
You exit the city, heading toward the glade pointed out by the rangers. The ground has been trampled by heavy, stumpy feet, but the tracks disappear in a scattered pile of decayed leaves. 3 paths lead north, each wide enough for the dozen golemos mentioned by your colleagues.
We have a choice. We can follow the fissured path, take the path with the disturbed moss, or go through the muddy path. The fissured path, I think, is not likely because that's golemos they don't like rocks. So let's go the disturbed moss or the muddy path. Let's go the muddy path.
The muddy path seems never-ending, and it just gets deeper and murkier. Finally, you encounter a patch of dried crust marked only by roe deer tracks. You suppose some could have been left by furples. The golemos were never here. You turn back and curse your failed intuition to the sound of squelching boots.
We're not having a great time. We should have trusted the moss. Place token A in front of you. You're straying in the forest. We'll take the pass with the disturbed moss. which is what's happening right now. She is disturbed.
Wild boars searching for food could have churned the moss, but you know better. Plus, on the way you come across mushrooms favoured by Mystlings, mostly earth ones. You allow your companion to graze on some, and you move on. The forest grows thin, and you see a well-known hill before you. You stop in your tracks, your mouth agape. The hillside is split in half by a gaping wound, through which you can see mysterious stone ruins. A group of Golemos is squeezing through the gap. From a distance, they look like a line of clumsy ants. Intrigued, you approach the hill through a bramble grove as the last of the Mystlings enters the ruins.
Okay, so we're going to perform a test. Test your might. If we have, so we don't have any items, which is not good, but sometimes you can get items, and those items, if you have that symbol at the top, you can ignore effect. All right, so we need to get to 6 and 8. All right, 6 and 8. So let's start here. There's a 3 with no eyeball. Come on, Dano. A 1 with no eyeball. We could use our rope now and we could add 2 and we get closer to the entrance. Or do we just go again? Go again, Dano. Ah, it's a 5. Ah, go again. No, it's an 8, but we have to take that unless we suffer a damage. So we'll just suffer a damage. When you draw an eyeball, draw the next card or gain 1 damage. So that's fine. We get closer to the entrance. I don't know why that picture keeps coming up, but it is a nice picture.
You hear a cracking sound behind you, and a Golemo emerges from thick brambles. It must have stayed behind to guard the entrance and protect its friends. The ground under your feet starts trembling, so you must prepare for a fight. You're a little scared, but also excited. Time to test your skills.
Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. It's the final countdown. All right. Map 2. So that's map 2 for 1 player. Arena card 19. I'm excited. This is the first one that actually feels like a proper fight. Fight! So let's zoom in on this. It says, Bramble Forest, place a berry in each space. I don't know why I turned that on. Oh, I know why, because I wanted to look at that. When you move to or a place in a space with a berry, discard it and heal 2 when an enemy moves into a space with a berry. Okay. So it's just some healing. We don't need healing. Enemy Golemo, cards 107, 108, and 109. 107, 108, 109. Yes. So we can tame this Golemo. Your enemy will also be placing elemental tokens. Cool, so we can tame this guy. Alright, so the Golemo goes up here. And if we have a look, let's use the Earth one for the Golemo. He's got 24 health. These are from Game Genic, little trackers. I like them a lot. Okay, so if we have a look up here, we can see that the Golemo has, oh, I think we flipped this over. Yes. The special ability goes on slot 3. And in his deck, he has 2 of each card. So he has 2 triangles, 2 squares, and 2 of those. So he has 6 of those. So the first thing for us to defeat the Golemo, or when I say defeat, I mean tame him, we have to tire him out so he has 5 health or less. Then we lure it into the mud. We have to get him into one of these spaces. And then show your power. Use your special ability in a space with a Quake token. Cool. Oh yeah, and he has armor if he's near Quake tokens. This is so sick. Okay. So he's going to attack, rush +2 attack. He's going to attack multiple times. And if you're a water element, he attacks you many, many times. We start here, the Golemo starts here. Let's have a look at the Golemo, by the way. What a cool little guy. All right, so we have 3 power, that's nice. I'll just make sure I've read everything right here. Make sure to use the enemy stat card without PvP, done. Has a passive ability, tokens are placed in range mentioned by the effect as close to you as possible. Tokens cannot be placed in a space with terrain. Players cannot interact with tokens. The enemy would place a token. Okay, very good. All right. We're ready to go, and we go first. Light Vortex. Brilliance. Oh, brilliance. Primal Shot. Okay, so this guy has no armor versus anything at the moment. I'm just going to turn this down, sorry. Okay. So yes, so brilliance, double brilliance seems quite nice. And that deals damage and gets us close to our fading light. But this one's going to be a longer fight than the last one. So that's good. 16 health we have. So do we start with a primal shot to gain the power? Deal 2 damage in range 2 and then move away because he is only movement 1. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use Primal Shot. So that's going to go into the discard pile. We're going to gain 3 power from doing that. And then we're going to deal 2 damage in range 2 and the Golemo suffers 2 damage. There's 2 types of damage in the game. There's the white damage and the red damage. So white damage is blocked by this, which is like your willpower, and red damage is blocked by the shields. So this guy's weak to the white damage, which is I think mostly what the Luminesca does. But he gets defense against red damage, which is not what I do much. Cool, so I'm not going to spend anything. I'm then going to spend 1 power to move, and I'm movement 2, so I'm going to move 2. So that's the end of my turn. These slide up, pummel. And this is an example of red damage. So the Golemo will go. We're going to do his first action, which is here. And it is this one. So he attacks. We're not in range. He then moves 3. 1, 2, 3. And he will attack us again. And he is attack 2. We are 1 armor on our little champion Luminesca. So we suffer 1 damage. So we're down to 15. We got 1 armor. All right. So now we know that he is going to do the square, which is place a quake token in range 2, and then he's going to attack and rush. So we're not stoked about that. So we'll do Brilliance in this slot. So we're going to gain 3 power, 1, 2, 3, takes us up to 8. We're going to spend 2 to gain 2 brightness. Then we're going to move 1, 2, and we're going to deal 2 damage, which is not blocked by anything, in range 2. He's down to 20. Now we could, I had to spend a power to move. Oh no, I didn't have to spend a power to move because I got to move as a part of my card. Very nice. What I might do now is spend a power to move and go 1, 2 and eat that berry and heal myself back up to full. So I'm at 17. 17 is my health. Cool. So these will slide across. I have the option to discard a card as well using power, but I don't want to. Golemo, he's going to do this square one, which is place a quake token within range 2. He then attacks, but we're not adjacent to him. Then he's going to rush next to us. So that's that done. Next turn, he's going to use his special ability, and now, because this is in here, he's got an extra armor, but that's only versus red attacks. And next turn, he's going to do attack, rush, attack. Great. So let's use our Brilliance again. We're going to gain 3 power. We're going to spend 2 power to gain 2 brightness. And we move 1, 2, but we'll just move to there. And we will deal, oh, hang on a second. Do we want to move to there? I don't really want to eat this yet, but I think I have to. Where was I? Here. I will move 1, 2. Deal 2 damage at range 2. 1, 2. So 2 damage. He's down to 18. Come on, Deno. Come on, son. We're going to tame this Golemo. Gotta catch him all. Golemo. Good. Okay. Little Golemo. So his turn. So these slide across. Boom, boom. He's going to do this one, which is attack. Rush. We'll actually move him to here. Then he's going to attack again. He's only attack 2, and we have 1 shield. So we're going to suffer a damage. And that's it. So that's flipped. And now, because there's a card here, he's going to activate his special ability, which is each opponent gains 3 damage for each quake token. Within range 2. No! I could have actually moved. Couldn't I? That's fine, I didn't. I'll suffer 3 damage. Got to learn the hard way sometimes, don't I? We're down to 13. Oh, I forgot to do this. Alright, so I'm going to start the next round. These go into the discard pile, which is down here. I'm going to spend 4 power straight away, triangle, to do my special ability. So that does 4 damage to the Golemo, thanks to Fading Light. Whoosh. I then lose 1 brightness. I'm then going to activate Light Vortex, which is I gain a brightness, and I can spend 2. I have 3. I'll spend 2 to gain another brightness. And then I attack in range 2, And he is not in range of that, so my attack uses 3, so he's down to 11. And now, do I spend a power to move? Because he's about to rush and attack. Yeah, no, I will spend a power to move. And we'll go 1, 2, 3. And we'll eat the berry and we'll heal back up to 15. And we are maximum brightness now. Okay. Oh, light vortex. Again, all my Luminesca cards have come out. That's awesome. All right, Golemo. So fortunately for us, he's only rush 1. And he's then going to place out a Quake token. Range 1. And that's the triangle completed. He's doing that again. That's awesome. All right, our turn. So we're going to use Leap. It's Blink 2. Blink is just a teleport. We're going to teleport to here. We're going to gain 2 power. And if I do my special ability now, I get 5 damage on him, which gets him to 6 damage. And the first mark we have to get is get him down to 5 health. Five or less health. Then we have to end it on this space. And then we have to use our special ability in a space with a Quake token. You may choose not to deal any damage with our special ability. Okay. Do we want to do our special ability now? Do we want to hold on? You have to do it in order too, to tame them. So I think we'll use our special ability now. We should be able to get 4 power pretty easily. So we're going to take him down to 6 health. 0. 6 health. We discard a brightness. This slides across. Bask in sun rays. There we go. That'll get us some stuff. Okay, little Golemo. Choo. Choo. He's going to rush 1. And then he's going to place a Quake token in a space. And that's it. It's not going to activate that, but we know that his next one is place a Quake and then attack and rush. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do this young Luminesca Bask in Sun Rays. So we gain 1 power for that, and then we discard the top 3 cards of our deck. We gain a brightness for each Luminesca card, and we gain 1 power for each neutral card. Neutral, 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 3 power. We're ready to roll. Come on, Deno. Okay, so this guy's Golemo turn, so he is going to do place 1 Quake in range 2. This little guy's a nugget. Oh, he's only allowed to have 3. No, he's allowed to have 5. So he's going to do it in range 2. Then he's going to attack, which he can't attack anyone. And he's going to rush 1. All right. Oops. So we need to move him to this spot, but we need to get 1 health off him now. So yeah, this is great. We're in great shape. All right, so we'll use this light vortex. Boom. We gain a brightness. Boom. We attack in range 2. Our attack is attack 3, and he has actually got... No! I just realised that flipped. This is here. We get a fatigue in our deck. He does this ability. Each opponent gains 3 damage for each Quake within range 2. That's 6 damage. Uh-oh. We're on 9. We got smashed. These all get shuffled now. That was at the end of his turn. Okay, so then our thing happens. So we gain 1 brightness. You may spend 2 to gain additional brightness. Now we don't need to do that. We're actually just going to do our fading light again. And that does 5 damage. So he's down to 1 health. Because that's our only way of doing damage now because he's got so much armor. That's okay. Because now we mark this one. So we've tired him out. He's got 5 or less health. Perfect. Okay. This moves to here. This moves to here. We discarded brightness. And now the little Golemo's turn. So he's got this one on top, which is he attacks. We're not in range. He's going to rush. We're going to move him to that spot. And then he's going to attack us again. We're going to suffer 1 damage because we have 1 armor. And he's only attack 2. But we have now completed the next one. We've lured him into one of those spaces. And now we get to do it. We get to tame him. So we're going to use sprint. Actually, it doesn't matter. We'll use sprint. We get 2 power. And we will use fading light after we conclude our sprint. Because we need to move into a space with the green. And fading light. Use your special ability in a space with a quake token. You may choose not to deal damage. We will choose not to deal damage. Come on! Okay, end of random combat or end of combat. If we tame him, we go to script A34. How good is that? Boom, boom.
The Golemo stares at you. There is no anger in its eyes, only admiration. You stop your creature from taking any action and start speaking to the Golemo in a calm voice. The words don't matter. The secret lies in the tone and the steady, unflinching eye contact. You approach the wild Mystling. You extend your hand toward the Golemo and speak in a low, relaxed voice. You're not its enemy. It allows you to touch its rough, moss-covered skin. You make it feel that there is no need to be afraid for it and its friends. You just want to ensure that your city friends are safe too. The Golemo stumbles forward, placing its hand on your knee, a first sign of trust. Now you are sure you will get along well. You feel a connection with the Earth Mystling, as if your hearts were melded, experiencing emotions as one. And right now, the Golemo feels calm.
Gotta catch 'em all, Golemo! Yes, all right, so we add Golemo 110 to our Mystling encyclopedia. So how good is this? Yeah, I love this game. All right, so Golemo 110, there he is. And this is his. There are not as many other Mystlings as reclusive as Golemos, who can be found only in deep woods and deep valleys. However, when stressed, they can go on a rampage, attacking everything in sight and using their connection to Earth to cause small-scale earthquakes. Good work, little Golemo. So we've got our Golemo, we've got our Windrazor. Was I supposed to have a Windrazor card there? I don't think so. Young Luminesca. Excellent. We did save a Prowler the other day. Why can't I have a Prowler? Place cards 107 111 and 112 with Golemo action cards behind the party divider. So we can now be the Golemo. We can now use him if we want in our combats. Oh, what do his cards do? Oh, let's have a look at his cards. Earth Shield, place a quake, and he gets. Does he get that passive ability all the time? No, so he only has that when he's got. But he's got a passive. Okay, place a quake. Oh, he gains power for that. And Stone Roll, he gets to move. Oh, he's got armor on 4 of his cards if they're in the discard pile. Some of these little things. So this one, when you're in the discard pile on top, you get that benefit, and some cards actually have a permanent upgrade that goes under your dude. But I don't think I've seen any of those yet. Nope. Cool. All right. Little Golemo joins the team. Let's go. Clear the arena and go to script A53.
You gaze at the gaping wound in the hill. How long have the ruins been concealed here? Keiberg was founded about 600 years ago, and there's no mention of such a construction in any book or story. You imagine knowledge, treasures, and secrets hidden inside, but then you notice the Golemo by your side and think about the other Earth Mystlings hiding inside. They could be the potential source of the tremor that struck the city earlier, and you are here to investigate it. As you enter the place, rocks and soil give way to tiled floors, and plastered walls replace stone formations. You look around a large room built in a style you've never seen before. The remains of sunshine send shadows dancing on the walls. Suddenly, you hear a rumble behind you, and the floor shakes. You jump forward to protect your creatures and save your own skin. When the dust settles, you notice that the way back is blocked. The hill still shakes slightly. You must find an escape route, and maybe investigate those ruins a little.
Open map 2. All right. We are in the ruins. Yep. What are these little Golemos doing here? Place secret 16 face down in the slot. Secret 16. There is secret 16. Let's put it off to the side so we can see that. Cool. Set the time to 3. Very good. And we have a little green thing because we rescued the Golemo. So that tells us to place token A in slot 1. There we go. And if token B is in front of you, oh, it was. We're straight in the forest for some time. Token A was in front of us. So we lose a time. We begin the exploration. This is exceptionally exciting. All right, there's tracks. So where are we? We must be here at A71. And there's tracks up to the Golemo here. What are they doing there? There is a hidden number here. You probably can't see it because it's quite dark, but it's A56. So we will look at that soon. This is a doorway of some description. I don't know what this is. What are the Golemos doing? Let's do A49. I want to see what the Golemos are doing.
Several Golemos crowd around a large stone, overgrown with moss. The Golemos are enchanted by the stones, but some turn toward you. They aren't hostile, but they obviously don't want you around here.
Hello, Gone Beyond One. What do we want to do? Well, let's have a look at the... Ooh, do we have a look at the rocks? What are you looking at the rocks for? Little golemos? Oh, it's a time.
You observe the stones from a safe distance. They shine lightly when the golemos draw closer, so they seem to react to the earth element, and when the ground trembles, they vibrate like tuning forks. Could they be amplifying the quake? As the vibrations grow stronger, the golemos shake to the frequency.
Let's go have a look down here. A51.
You find yourself in a dark room with half-collapsed walls. Almost no light reaches this place, but you can discern shapes similar to short shelves or chests.
All right, we're searching the room. So you may look at the top. Okay, no. Oh, so we don't want to have two eyeballs here. So our goal is 6, 7. We do not want A, 8 or more. All right. Is this in the right spot? It is. So let's start with a 1 and an eyeball. Oh no. All right, we're going again. Another 1. Come on, Dano. So we're at 4, so we can take it to 6. But we've got the eyeball, so we're losing a time. Anyway, so let's go again. All right, we're losing a time, but we will use our rope here to get to 7. So we can add or subtract 2. That's a 1, by the way. So we're 7. We gain a silver. Cool. We gain 1 item. The item that we gain is glazed nuts. We place token A in locked slot 3. Oh, token A in slot 3. And we continue the exploration. I think let's go have a look at the secret. Oh yeah, we had to lose a time. So the next time that we lose is bad. So let's go have a look at the secret. A56.
You spot a rectangular shape in the darkness, which appears to be a strange door carved into the stone wall. You try to open it, but without success. When you feel the surface with your hands, you find a strangely shaped keyhole. The key fits, and the door gives way under your touch. You stand in a tiny chamber with a pedestal in the center. The faded frescoes show human-like silhouettes and blurry mistlings working together on something unintelligible. There is another exit from this room, a tight corridor from which you can feel a gentle breeze. A way out?
All right, so we flip this, and that means we gain an equipment. So I haven't gained any equipment to this point. Items are pretty much come and go, but equipment I think is super useful. So we're going to gain, cut this one, and we found a reinvigorating water. The effect of the next card you play during this turn is resolved twice. Wow, that is pretty good. And it also has a little symbol on it, which sometimes appears in tests and stuff, so that can benefit us having that. Do we follow the corridor, do we search the alcove, or do we return to the ruins? Let's search the alcove. Gain an item and a silver, and we lose a time. So we've got 3 silver, but the time track now flips, so we flip this. The ruins shake in a sudden tremor.
The ground shakes, and dust and pebbles rain down on your head. One more quake, and the ceiling will collapse.
Okay, so we now have a red time tracker. So the red time trackers are bad. When you get to the bottom with a red time tracker, it usually means game over, man. I want to see what 37 is though, because we can go anytime, I think.
The wall with ancient faded frescoes is partly covered with debris. The frescoes present a group of silhouettes with wings or something resembling them. Some of them wield weapons of sorts, maybe. There is a full moon in the sky, surrounded by constellations well known to you.
All right, we're testing again, but we do have a test glazed nuts. We can discard the card we just drew. Token A is in slot 1. Oh, cool. The Golemo wants to help. Yes. All right. So let's flip the first one, a 3. That's a nice start. What do we want to get? We've cleared out the debris. Yeah, we want to get a 7 if we can. That's a 6. Oh, we'll take 6. We lose a time. We gain an item. So we gain a smashing hammer. And that's it. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go to 56. Let's get out of here the special way.
The corridor ends abruptly, covered in rubble, but you can see the night sky through the hole high above your head. The climb is relatively easy, and you emerge on the side of the hill.
Gain the secret exit status. Cool. Go to script A64.
When you take a deep breath and savor the chilly night that smells of pines and wet grass, the ground shakes again. An ear-splitting sound rends the air. It feels like the whole world has snapped in half. You look toward Kehrberg, fearing for the city, and freeze as the lights on the walls go out. You are too far away to see details, but you imagine the worst. You quickly check if your creatures are all right and decide to move on. Then, the stars and the moons disappear, confusing and scaring you even more. When the stars reappear, you realize the sky was obscured by a massive silhouette. Only a dragon could be this big. You are unsure if that makes you feel calmer or even more terrified, but also a little excited.
How cool is that? All right. I haven't done any of this stuff, so this is all new for me. So we discard that. We gain the world map card 1. Here it is. Explored sign up. You'll return here later. Nice. So this is our world map. We'll get rid of our items. We've got quite a few items now. That's good. So this, where does it go? Oh, nice. All right, so it goes here. And then we also get 15, 2, and 13. Explored 15, 13. But these are unexplored 2 here. Okay, world map card 13, explored side up. No, that goes above Deno, good work. And then this one goes explored side face up. Featureless forests are situated in the south of town. Nice. So that's the quest we did, Calm Before the Storm. And now we can go here, I think, to B0. Open a random booster! Yes! Okay, this is so fun. I'm so excited about this. The game literally comes with booster packs. So we're going to choose one at random and we're going to open a booster pack live on stream. It's the best. Okay. Oh, this is exciting. And you want to know what's even cooler? They have these little reusable boosters for if you want to reset the game and play it again. You can put cards back in this and you can reuse them. So I love that and I love this thing. Boosters. All right, let's do it. I haven't opened Pokemon cards in a long time, but we're doing it right now. Okay, so take all the cards behind the advancement and open a random booster. Oh my god, we got a foil. There's a foil in everyone. Choose a space. Lightning strike. So this is only for an air elemental. Elemental ball. Shadow from the shadows. Where's the light one? Ooh, Mudfield. See, this is a permanent upgrade one that I was talking about. Water. Fire. There's one sunlight. Aegis of Light. At the end of each turn, if you gained any damage, heal 1. That's awesome. We need to get ourselves an air elemental so we can use this foil. Okay, take all the cards behind the advancement deck divider. Alright. Shuffle them and draw 8 cards, 1 fewer for each fatigue in your Mystling decks, to a minimum of 3. So we have 2 fatigue, so we're going to draw 6 cards and we choose 3. So these are upgrades that we can also choose. I haven't sleeved these yet, so I'm just going to be careful. 4. 5. 6. Alright, so we get to choose 3 of these. Push. Move an opponent up to 3. You may spend 2 to trigger. Okay. Reach. Oh my god, your attacks have +1 range. That's interesting. Bite back. Deliberate strike. Channeling swiftness. Alright, I'm going to have to read all of these things. Great. So that's the end of BigDenoPlays Dragon Eclipse Scenario 1. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. We're going to choose those cards and we're going to just do that off camera and I'll talk about them at the start of the next episode. Alright friends, have a great week. I'll catch you all soon. BigDeno out.